All right, so today is the big day. It's October 21st, 2015. That's the day Marty and Doc traveled back to the future in Back to the Future Part 2. And so today we are celebrating.
I know, but now the future is becoming the past, right? Cleveland 19's Q McCray is on top of this morning. Q, I know you're having a great time with this story.
Q McFly.
Q McFly.
There you go. That's my new nickname for the day. Listen, Back to the Future fans are going crazy because they've been waiting for so long to see if the movie's predictions of the future have come true. Well, we won't be going to see Jaws 19 this weekend, but they did get a few of the predictions right. And here's the list. A lot of the stuff Marty McFly saw in his future is a reality today. The headsets being worn at the dinner table. We have seen or have Google Glass. How about video conferencing? As when Marty McFly had a fight with his boss, that is also real. And you can't forget about the self-lacing Nike shoes. Well, in 2011, Nike auctioned off 1,500 pairs, replicas though, but it was missing the important feature, the self-lacing ties. Well, maybe this year sometimes we could see those. And finally, in the movie, the Cubs win the World Series, ending a more than 100-year drought. There's still a chance that could happen because the Cubs are still alive in the playoffs. Now in New York, to celebrate today, the ride service Lyft is offering free rides for a day in DeLoreans. The deal will be available to users from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. After opening the app, all you'll have to do is toggle over to the McFly mode and summon your time machine. And nationwide, you can catch Back to the Future Part 2 in theaters near you. Cinemark Valley View Theater will be showing Back to the Future 2 at 4:30 this afternoon. In Willoughby, Regal Commons will show Part 2 at 5 o'clock, and also over at the Crocker Park Regal Cinema. Some theaters around our area are also showing all three of the movies, so check your local listings to see what's playing near you.
All right, Q, I know you're going to see one of those, right, showings, I'm sure. Well, you may want to be on the lookout today for a teenage boy, a wild-haired scientist, and a dog flying in a DeLorean.
Watch out, that's right. All right, and with us now is James Denny. He's a film and media instructor, professor from Cleveland State University. And but this is something else, and this is what I want to ask you. Are we talking about this today because today's October 21st and it's the date, or are we talking about this today because of that date and also because these are iconic movies that are in the consciousness of everybody? Which one is it?
Well, how often is it that you get a film franchise that is as popular as Back to the Future, where they actually name a specific date that is actually in the foreseeable future? Right. So to me, it's because it's October 21st and because that's the specific date that was mentioned in Back to the Future 2. That would be the main reason. Plus, you know, the first movie itself is just such a perfectly crafted movie. If Back to the Future,
both.
yes,
it's both.
yes.
Yeah,
if Back to the Future 2 was the first movie in that trilogy, I don't think we'd be talking about it. But because the first movie was so perfectly realized, that would be the reason.
Since you're so well versed in film, okay, when you get ready to write something like this and plan out, you know, what this is going to look like, I'm just guessing they didn't really think that there would be a such thing as a hoverboard in 2015, and they wouldn't think that the Cubs could possibly be headed to the World Series.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The director, Robert Zemeckis, who actually co-wrote the first screenplay with Bob Gale, he worked on the story with Bob Gale for the second one, and he said he hates when movies try to predict the future. So they specifically did not try to predict the future. They tried to have fun with the innovations that they showed us. But they've actually hit on a few, as you've seen.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Why do you think the theme of this movie, or the subject matter, Back to the Future and Back to the Past, it was a great idea because it's so intriguing to all of us?
Mm-hmm.
Is that part of why this is so popular, going to the future, going to the past?
Well, it's kind of that theme that if you go to the past, you can actually change the future, and that happens in the first movie, and to perfection, because all of a sudden Marty's family is, you know, on top by the end of the movie. At the beginning, yes, but then that all gets erased by the second movie, and that's where the problem really occurs. Biff steals the sports almanac, is able to go back and gamble and win money, and now he's on top again in 1985. And what's cool about the three movies is they're all set in 1985, though they're released in 85, 89, and 90. But you know, they go 30 years in the past in the first one, 30 years into the future in the second one, and then 100 years into the past in the last one. And time travel is always fun. And the thing to realize for me is, you know, yes, the one innovation that we haven't come up with yet is a time machine.
Right.
Correct.
But as long as we have movies and television to take us to places and times that we can't normally get to for an hour or two, we can actually go back in time and watch these. Yeah.
Brilliantly conceived, even if the execution of the second movie wasn't ideal, I guess is the way to put that. Thanks, James, for coming in. We appreciate it.
All right, and thank you so much. Hey, we have more coming up after the break. Stay with us.